good with y'all, man? Welcome back to another video. Hope y'all are having a good day. And inside this video, we will be reviewing the 3 states of waking consciousness. So before I fully get into that, we must first understand that there are 3 states of consciousness in general. These are the physical state, the astral state, and the causal state. More on these states in later videos. Now, when it comes to humans, these 3 states of consciousness manifest as the waking state, the dream state, and the dreamless sleep state. I'll cover all these in later videos. Now, the waking state of consciousness is associated with our physical body, our physical senses, and physical reality. We use the waking state in order to interpret physical reality, and so that way we can create and take action within inside physical reality. When the waking state manifests in humans, it manifests in 3 relative states. These states are dullness, agitation, and lucidity. In my video, when I talk about the mystical implications about the myth of a bored king, I explain that there are 3 states of waking consciousness. And inside this video, we will be breaking down the 3 states of waking consciousness, which are dullness, agitation, and lucidity. So on this board, I've made a chart that lists all the different adjectives associated with the 3 states of waking consciousness. At the top, you will see transcendental awareness. I put transcendental awareness for the simple fact that within inside the waking state, you should have transcendental awareness, which is just lucidity. You feel me? So when I wrote down transcendental awareness, right, which is right here, you see how there's that one awareness and it splits off into 3. This is one of the reasons why I made the video from 1 there is 3, because you will see that in a lot of my videos, including this one and future ones, that from 1 there is 3. Like I just said, in the waking state, you should have transcendental awareness, you feel me, which is just lucidity. However, in humans, it manifests as this. It manifests as a duality. So first you have transcendental awareness, right, which is just lucidity. And the opposite is dullness. And the in-between is agitation. From 1 there is 3. All right, so back to the chart, we see that we have dullness, agitation, and lucidity. Now, most people bounce between these 2 and rarely ever touch this. You feel me? The lucid state. Now, with inside the agitated state, right, you have a chance to get glimpses of the lucid state, which is just transcendental awareness. So you have that ability. However, most people just stay agitated and then bounce between these 2. So we're going to focus on the lucid state for right now. Inside the lucid state, you have awareness, clarity, harmony, peace, happiness, joy, and overall, there's just pure transcendental awareness, aka divine awareness. The reason why I say transcendental is because this awareness transcends the physical plane. Inside the lucid state, you have become aware of yourself as the divine. You have become aware of yourself as the creator, and because of this, you can fully create whatever you want. And when you are done creating, or when you are just chilling, you could fully experience life without feeling bored or nothing like that, you feel me? And then when you go to meditate, it's way easier to transcend the physical reality, you feel me? So inside the lucid state, there's no boredom. There's just pure peace. Now, I do got to say this, though. Even though you have transcendental divine awareness, it's not at its full extent, for the simple fact that if you were fully blissed out 24/7, you could not sustain practical reality. You would not be able to go to work. You would not be able to go to your job. You couldn't do half of that shit because you're just too fucking blissed out. So even though you have divine awareness inside the lucid state, it's not full force. Because if it was full force, then inside the waking state, you couldn't even create inside the waking state. You would just be fully blissed out all the goddamn time. However, it does mean that you still feel good and you feel at peace. You create and there's no stress. You feel me? Then once you get done creating, you just sit there and experience life to the fullest. We're not doing nothing, then that bliss just fully comes to you and everything. That is the lucid state of consciousness, which most of us never touch. Then we have the agitated state, which is a very subconscious level of awareness, meaning that you're not fully aware, you're only halfway aware. Inside this state, you are very pleasure-seeking, you get restless, you get bored, and there's a mix of positive and negative emotions and thoughts. Now, the agitated state is a byproduct of the fact that you, right, as a soul, you have experienced eternal bliss and peace several fucking times. You feel me? Now, an example of this is when you're actually inside the dreamless sleep state. When you go to sleep at night, that shit feel really fucking good. You just wake up and you just feel good. You feel me? You don't really know what the fuck happened, but basically what happens is that you experience that bliss. Now, with that shit being said, right, a lot of us, right, even though we experience that bliss, we don't know where the fuck it came from. So because of that, we're constantly seeking out pleasure in the outside world to feel that bliss again. This is why you become very pleasure seeking and very restless, because you always try to find something to do, but you're never fucking satisfied for some reason. And the reason why is the simple fact that you're not getting the bliss from the right areas. You're not inside the lucid state. You're not aware of yourself as a divine. You feel me? So now, because you're agitated and you're not aware, you're seeking out pleasure in the outside world, trying to become divine again, when really all you gotta do is just go inside yourself. You feel me? You're going all the way out there when the joy is right the fuck here. You feel me? This is why the king had got agitated inside the story that I told. He was bored because he wanted to do something, right? But he didn't know what the fuck he wanted to do. He wanted to feel good, but he didn't know really how to feel good. And the way to feel good is by understanding what the fuck you truly are within inside yourself. And this leads us to the dull state, which is at this point taking place at an unconscious level of awareness. In this point, you are unaware, you have feebleness of mind, which just means weak-minded, and you are very weak-willed, and you're also tend to get depressed. The dull state happens because when you were in your state of agitation, right, you were seeking so many things. But as I said before, these things do not give you what you actually want. All they really do is drain your energy. So when you're constantly bored and restless, right, you do all these things, you do all these things, you do all these things, but you're not fulfilled. You just waste your energy and you get very dull. You feel me? Now you start becoming less aware. You're even less aware than you were before. You feel me? You're just falling unconscious at this point. Inside this state of dullness, this is when people have very weak minds. You feel me? They have no will. Any little thing will provoke them. You feel me? Any little thing is gonna make them sad, happy, mad, all that shit. This person will become very depressed, very lazy, because they're very, very dull. And then when something good happens, they'll become fucking elated again. They're gonna become agitated because when something good happens, it feels so fucking good, right? That they wanna just get more of it. But they don't realize how the fuck to really get what they're actually looking for, which is within inside themselves. So inside the dull state, right, this is a very, very dangerous state for someone to be inside of, because inside this state, it's like no fucks are given anymore. You feel me? And then when happiness does come, it makes the person so goddamn happy to the point where if they don't get that shit again, it's gonna drop them right the fuck back down. You feel me? And when they're already down inside that dull state, any negative thing is just gonna push them times fucking 10 because their mind is weak and they have very weak will. You feel me? So they can't really do much about this shit. So to get out this state, you really gotta meditate and stuff like that. But in later videos, right, I'm gonna talk about the different types of yoga because that's gonna help you reach the lucid state. Oh shit. Hope I'm holding my phone the right way. But yeah, when you practice yoga, you can actually hop into the lucid state way more often to avoid the dull state and agitated state. But yeah, all of these relative states are a result of you not being fully aware. I made a video called The 3 Levels of Awareness. Anytime you fall halfway aware or unaware, aka subconscious or unconscious, you feel me, you will start to get agitated and eventually dull. Because since you're not fully aware of yourself as a divine, you're gonna be constantly seeking out shit to do. You feel me? And these things will never bring happiness. They're only gonna drain your energy to the point where you become very, very, very dull. And then when you become very, very, very dull, you're either gonna get even more dull, or when something good happens, it's gonna fucking bring you up so fucking much. You feel me? You're gonna be seeking that shit out again, just be fucking agitated. Then you're gonna fucking dull yourself out again until you finally become aware of yourself as a divine. This is why the story of the bored king is very important. If you didn't see my mystical implications video of the Egyptian myth that I told, go watch that shit because it was very important. When you don't have that jewel, which represents inner peace and self-knowledge, you can't experience the joy and pleasure of life. You just get very agitated and you chase happiness in all the wrong places. You get involved with people you shouldn't be involved with. It's just not a good thing at all. You feel me? It's not a good thing. You'll find yourself having conversations that have no meaning whatsoever. One time you're talking about lunch, then somehow you end up talking about how you were at the bookstore, then somehow you talk about how your boss's shirt was ugly, then somehow you talk about how you want to go to the park, then somehow some girl annoyed you, then somehow this boy talks very annoying. It's just you have weird conversations that are all over the place. You seek happiness in the wrong places. You feel me? You can't get happiness from yourself. You just become sad and depressed because you tried to get something and it didn't really make you happy. And then when you finally do get the thing that you thought would make you happy, you're only happy for like fucking 10 seconds, and then the fucking effect wears off and now you're back agitated. You feel me? So please get that jewel back. This channel will help you get the jewel back.